Out March 22nd is the Godfather Trilogy in 4K. Now, this was a pretty big announcement. We hinted at this, I will say. We rumored this way back when we talked about the Death of Michael Corleone, the CODA release. One of the news items that we were reading was basically saying that at some point in time, the Godfather Trilogy is going to be coming out probably in time for its 50th anniversary in 2022. Well, lo and behold, it's 2022, and it has been announced the 50th anniversary on 4K from Paramount Home Media. They're putting out a regular edition and a deluxe edition for 4K, and then they're also putting out a Blu-ray version of this box set also. 3 films, 3 different versions of Godfather 3 are going to be included.
So that whole CODA thing that I bought was pointless if I want this?
Yes.
Well, that's great. That's beautiful.
I bought it too.
Wait, you bought CODA?
I did.
Oh, all right.
I
good.
did, and I was like,
big Godfather 3
I did. Well, I wanted to check it out.
Best of the series.
Dude, you've got Godfather 3 theatrical, you've got Godfather 3, the 91 Coppola cut, and then CODA, the Death of Michael Corleone. Now, only the CODA one will be in 4K.
Ironically, there is no version of Godfather 3 that most fans want.
No. However, if you were only going to get the Blu-ray version, you aren't going to get those additional 2 cuts. You're only going to get CODA in that Blu-ray set. Let me tell you what's new in this box set for Godfather, Russ. A new introduction from Francis Ford Coppola. We've got a new Preserving the Godfather detail the restoration process over the past few decades, because every iteration of this that's come out, whether it was first DVD and then it was Blu-ray, there's always been some like insane restoration process that I remember reading about them going through, and it sounds like they're going through yet again another one. A new featurette called Capturing the Corleones, which is the photographer Steve Shapiro reflecting on the making of the movie. There's a bunch of archival footage, which is also new, shot back in 1971. A new restoration comparison, so you can see before and after highlights of what they did with the movie, and then as well as all the previous legacy stuff, which is already a ton. The restoration process, over 300 cartons of film were scrutinized to find the best possible resolution for every frame. Over 4,000 hours repairing film stains, tears, and other anomalies in the negatives. Over 1,000 hours on color correction to ensure the HDR was respectful of the original vision. And in addition to the 5.1 audio, you're going to get original mono tracks on Godfathers 1 and 2, which have been restored. So they really have done quite a bit. Now, in this deluxe box set, you're getting a deluxe packaging, which is a really nice hard box that comes with it. You're getting a hardback coffee table book with some photos that come along with it, and then 3 portrait art prints on archival paper. Whenever there's a rigid box, I think that's great. This, not to say that this box set up here looks bad. I think it looks nice no matter what, but it's probably got a soft slip on it. Just that rigid box is always a nice touch. But anyway, here we are, Godfather fans. We're here again to rebuy The Godfather all over again. I feel the same way about Ghostbusters. It's like it just keeps coming out, but I do feel like at least Francis himself, he takes a lot of pride in these movies. Obviously, they're like the jewel in his crown, so he's going to put these out and put a lot of effort into them. Maybe he thinks so. I don't know.
To do 3.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
He's reconciled with that by putting out CODA, and that's him saying, like, this is the way it should have been. Take it for what it is.
He did the Cotton Club for Paramount, and it went way over budget. Basically, he owed them, and they were like, you know what we want?
Yep.
Even Duvall didn't come back.
You're out, Tom.
It was supposed to be Winona Ryder, or not Sofia Coppola, who, look, she's great. Obviously, she became a great filmmaker, but she's no actress. I don't hate it as much as most people do. I think I've said this before. I love the scenes with Michael and Kay. But still, it's Godfather 3. It's long as shit, and compared to the first 2, it's a mess. But you're comparing it to what most people consider 2 of the greatest American films of all time.
I go back and forth which one I like the most, or if it's like a tie in some weird way. Like, I don't know. What is it about one that you like?
I don't know.
I think
Better.
It's Brando.
You think it's Brando? Yeah.
I think it's Brando. Like, don't get me wrong, De Niro, holy shit.
Me interessa.
He stepped into a role that was already iconic 2 years previously. There's just something about the first one. I can rewatch it more. The second one, I love it. Dude, I would give both of them 10 out of 10s.
There's just like more like of a sadder or more dour note to the second one. I think the first one
it ends.
Yeah. I mean,
it's meant to be.
Aside from the ending, just the whole thing just feels like down. Like it feels like obviously the weight of everything is on Michael's shoulders now, so everything is very heavy. The ending is obviously very heavy.
Well, that's why 3 always made sense, and that's why 2 makes sense in the way you're saying it. These movies, they're a tragedy.
Yeah.
Nobody views them like that. Everyone romanticizes them. You watch them in like most gangster flicks. People want to be Michael or they want to be Vito.
Yeah.
But the real story of The Godfather is tragedy. Michael was a war hero.
Yep.
He did not want to become part of his family.
Not at all.
He had
He's sucked
to.
in. Yep.
He was the smartest person. He was the only one who could. And his life fell apart because of it. He lost the love of his life.
Yep.
He had to kill his own brother.
Yep.
I mean, it's sad. He's a broken man by the end of part 2.
Yep.
And 3 is just dealing with a broken man in the twilight of his life. So
Yeah.
most people hated that one even more
Yeah.
because it's more depressing.
It is. It's a 10 out of 10 also. It's just a different 10 out of 10. It's just a different feeling. And I think the first one, like you mentioned, Brando, I think there's, Jimmy Caan, Brando. I'm not sure how much Al Pacino I had seen before I watched Godfather. When you watch Godfather, he's very subdued. He's very calculated and, he kind of chooses words wisely and he's kind of, meek a little bit until he becomes the Godfather. I don't know. There is just like a different element to it.
It's sad. It's a sadness.
That
he's sad.
He
and
is.
it's the purpose of it.
But why is the first one so much more rewatchable? That ending is pretty awesome in the first one too.
As I just said, as an audience member, when you watch The Godfather, it romanticizes violence. You want to see all the other families taken down. You want to see them get their comeuppance. But when you really think about it, the other family, they're doing the same shit the Corleones are. We just as viewers don't see the Corleones' impact of their
other
actions
people.
on other people outside of the family.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance of it. I'll also say 2, another reason why I put 1 over 2, all the Hyman Roth stuff is a little complicated.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
It's a little dry.
Convoluted. And the first one, I don't really get that impression.
No, because the conflicts in the first one, whether it be with the police or it be with the other families, they're all very engaging and entertaining, and you're following along really easily. Sometimes, like you said, it's a little complex, and I'm not having as much fun romanticizing the violence in the second one.
God, and then 3, they bring the Vatican in, and it's like, Jesus Christ, now we're really on
that's
some
true.
heavy stuff.
It's a great looking set. I don't know how much better can we make these things look at this point after you've gone through and done all of this thousands of hours before on Blu-ray. How many more thousands of hours are being added to get this a certain way? I mean,
this is a title that it doesn't like seeing this presented in the crystal clear and perfect form.
Yeah.
It's a movie from the 70s that didn't even take place in the 70s. So the fact that it looks older to me almost helps it.
This collector's edition rigid box one, I don't know how long that'll be available, but those prices are pretty high. I think deep discount, that website and Target, they were even showing some of these things coming down to around $120, $130. So I think they're already starting to drop, but it's pretty high. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah, this would be something I'd like to be gifted.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd run out and replace it. And I own already on Blu-ray the trilogy and the CODA.
We'll see what it looks like. It might be like one of those, like an Indiana Jones or something, where it's just like night and day, brings it back to life in some crucial way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But it's coming out March 22nd, so a couple months away. For those of you that are interested, let us know if you'll be out there picking that up.